That's very kind. Thank you. Beyond the myth and magic of mentoring.
1 year for improved performance.
When did you publish this?
It came out in 91. It's now I mean, I'm leaving the board. No, but it's available from my office. I'd be happy to send you one if you'll give me your card. Here, so I suppose we've done a few things right.
Good, good.
Maybe today we have to talk. I do have some that you want to break or something. Okay. That's you.
Margot, we have.
We're both up today.
We have to. I'm told we are going to be on Bahrain TV. So. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes,
for being with us here this morning. He took the trouble to travel all the way and to be here to see the signing the agreement with us in the state of Bahrain for the year 2002 IFTO World Conference.
The signing of the agreement, Ibrahim told me this is the first agreement to be signed in the presence of ministers. I don't know how far this is true, but at least this is, if it indicates anything, it confirms to you that we in Bahrain will fully support this the conference of the year 2002. In fact, we have already started talking about the organizing committee from now, how the promotion should start. We have put to ourselves a target that the 2002 should be the biggest, the largest, and the best. Now the rest. Now that brings the challenge to the people who organized it before us, and we, of course, appreciate your decision to accept the invitation of our society for hosting that conference in Bahrain in that year. We feel that it's been extremely gracious with you, and it's important to us because the whole region, as I mentioned briefly, going through a tremendous process concentrated on the development of our human resources. The region, as I mentioned the other day briefly, went through the last decade in investing heavily on physical infrastructure of the area. In some areas or some countries starting from nothing. And this process or those programs cover every basic things from roads to power generation, to electricity, to ports, to airports. And we were able during the last 3 to 4 decades to be a host of millions of expatriates and guest workers who came and supported us. We will remain and will continue to be grateful to them because without their contribution we would not have been able to achieve what we have achieved. I think we'll still continue to depend on them. But we are now, even with expatriate workers, we are talking about quality rather than quantity. The change of time, the technology needed, the people to help us to enter the 21st century should be different than those who were helping us to go across the end of the 20th century. Our people also need to be equipped with to meet the challenges of the next century. We are fully aware of that, and the whole region working together and on achieving that objectives. I had the honor during the whole of last year to chair the Council of the Ministers of Labor and Social Affairs of the GCC countries. GCC countries are the 6 countries of Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, UAE, and Oman. And I can assure you that they are all fully aware and committed to such achievement and to investing as much as possible in that area. As I mentioned, we have the most modest figures and independent figures of $3.9 billion spent directly on training programs. I have to my right a gentleman who is involved in his company alone, involved at one stage in spending, I believe, up to $1 billion on training every year. This figure is less than what it used to be, but still I understand standing very substantial. And double that figure easily on recurring expenditure of education, talking about salaries and enough capital expenditure. Our official figures, as usual, is higher. You know, I'm only quoting the independent, modest, as they say, or the most modest estimation. Ours talks about higher, but this is a massive market, and I can assure you that the only area where there is no restrictions about expenditure is into the area of human resources, and we are working together with the private sector in meeting that challenge. In Bahrain, for example, this fund comes entirely, I can say, almost from the private sector. The President asked me to say a few words, and this is very dangerous. When I start, I don't stop. I think I'd better stop it here, and then again, I appreciate the opportunity, and I wish you all the best, and wish you, Ibrahim, all the best in your new task, and rest assured of our support.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, we have 3 documents here 3 copies of our contract to sign. And Margot Marie is as treasurer, she will sign, and we will sign it now. المفروض يمكن اوقع بالعربي يعني. To make it unique. انا والله عادة اوقع بالعربي
عشان لا ينكر التوقيع.
لا خصوصا هذه الكابي حقتنا نمسحها اللي هي
Time for shake hand. It's time to clap for you. Right.
And thank you, sir.
All the best. Thanks a lot. Mabruk, all the best. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you very much. BSTD will be, from now on, will be giving us reports and progress reports. And our liaison person will be from the CCC, will be talking you closely. And we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for this.
I'm not part of the
You won't know anything else.
It's better to say verbally as much as possible, but
you have it documented now in video. All the best. Wish you all the best. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
We'll support your cooperation.
Yes.
Okay.
We will support Iftdo 2002. It's kind of big engagement.
Yeah, one more for the
President, could you post one check?
Abdulrahman will That's very good. Thanks again. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh yes, what words? Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'll see you around. See you later.
Okay, see you later.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
Thank you very much. You are welcome.
is this the last one?
You want to go to the mic just there, or do you want to go, you want to be in the limelight, you stand up there.
How this West versus East. Since the first day, I keep hearing of West values, East values. Well, I'm of Indian nationality, married to a Malay lady, and I gradually realized that in culture, 80% of the things are common. The problem is we spend 80% of the time looking at 20% which is different. They will not listen to us if we ourselves are not good gurus. I just wonder how I can help you. How can I be a good guru so that my living, my style will self-create so my leaders will listen to me.
This is a kind of rediscovering or returning to the ancient wisdom, the perennial wisdom of the East, but with a difference. And that is a contribution of this conference. In other words, that we have to integrate holistically these three levels which have been emphasized throughout the conference. Leading change, in other words, creating the future We want, instead of living with the future, we get. What does that mean? Repositioning learning. With a difference, to make a difference. It is all these three parts: additive learning, which of course is important, but also subtractive learning. Unless we empty the cup, we can't fill in anything more. And of course, transform, which brings about change with it. Throughout the conference and even in the last session, that was always emphasized, and rightly so, that real change within. By understanding ultimate reality, we will not be able to change. This is where the actual perceptual level, unless that changes, we will not be able to change anything inside us. In other words, the ultimate reality is a complex and interconnected web of relationships. Ultimate reality is relationships or patterns. So human life also is relationships. Relationships between what? Four basic elements: people, things, ideas, events. And holism means managing these relationships, integrating those relationships. Now, four forces that shape the physical universe are gravitational force, electromagnetic force, the strong nuclear, and the weak nuclear forces. Similarly, almost as fundamentally, we should recognize that the social universe, about which the human resource development movement is all about, also has to be concerned with four basic forces of change, uncertainty, complexity, and conflict. We follow the individual. We come immediately to the individual level, but what is the individual? Again, an integrated whole of its purpose, the values, the qualities, and the competencies. It is an energy system. It all depends upon how we guide, channelize our energies, either to generate conflict, which seems to be unfortunately the profile of most of our activities today, or we use it creatively. That is, not providing negative tension, shall we say, distress, but synergy, which again has been the emphasis in this conference. Because this conflict means, heating up the engine by keeping the brakes on and accelerating. Putting the knowledge in while the conflicts still continue creates more noise rather than movement. Because that is clever thinking, which still continues to be situational, problem-solving, intellectual, reactive, sporadic, and skill-induced. What we have now, that is the repositioning of the learning. What we need to do now is to have a sort of a quantum leap by having creative intelligence in action that is a way of life. It is vision-driven, intuitive, proactive, and a kind of flow state. This is the real change, not just cognitive, but also a kind of a proactive, creative intelligence bringing about a different level of consciousness which feeds into the same energy again. Therefore, interestingly, while we talk about creative living, bringing about a change means being creative. But then we always seek making new connections. But may I submit to you, we will never be able to make any new connection unless we are willing and able to detach, disconnect from our existing neural networks or mental models. This is the starting point. Are we having the courage to disconnect? In other words, improving ourselves rather than proving ourselves right. Reductionist and deductive logic, shall we say, that is not sufficient. We have also to go beyond the double loop learning, which Chrysalidis has been advocating. Again, these are necessary, but we need to go beyond that. Beyond the triple syndrome, acquisitive, adversarial, and aquarium culture in which the so-called economic system is flourishing today in one dimension. Also beyond the quadrangular typology, we type and put human beings into various boxes of personalities. Again, interesting, important contribution to our understanding, but still not enough. We have to even go beyond what my friend Peter Senge calls the fifth discipline. We have to go towards the sixth sense, which I call the holistic integration through detached involvement. And that is the intuitive, intellectual, and emotional intelligence. So therefore, what is holistic learning? The way it comes through to me, it begins with multi-level awareness. We get data, and that is whatever is in sight out there. I'm playing a little bit with the words here. What is in sight out there, which is data, and then we get information about our inner dynamics. So from data to information connected into knowledge, which hopefully gets transformed into wisdom, or shall we put it the other way, we have what is in sight out there, external dynamics, the inner dynamics, the combination creates the insight, and that generates the outlook of the behavior. We have to go beyond this. This is the turning point, shall we say, and that will enable us to go beyond being an intelligent manager, beyond being a learned manager, to what I call the conscious manager. But in a manner which is relevant to the learning styles, dependent upon the personality types, dominances, preferences, whatever we may have. And in this conference, the way it has been structured and presented to us combines all of that in a variety of different degrees. But all these three dimensions have been a part of this conference. So, if we keep that in mind, then we would have developed, cultivated what I call the art of holistic learning, which means, of course, reflection on the action that has preceded and then converting that into theory. So this is the cycle, the holistic cycle, shall we say, of learning, but based on centered consciousness of detached involvement. This is the balance we need to get. That is the balance which will enable us to manage with meaning, living creatively, because today is a very special day. Today is a very special day because it's the first day for the rest of our lives. Whenever we think of anything that is a new beginning, there is a very positive energy that we usually keep in mind. And you know, today is the tomorrow we were worried about yesterday. Today has to be viewed in a special way. You see, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. But today is a gift, and that's why it is called the present.
What more can I say?
During the conference in Dublin, we hope to share with you hotels in walking distance. You will have the opportunity to sample Irish hospitality, enjoy our culture, and have fun. I started my presentation with a greeting in Malaysian, and I would now like to wish you a safe journey home and an onward journey to Dublin next year in my native tongue. Slán Awaya, Banach Jay, Agus Gonairi and Boholiv, Gonair, Garamila Mahibat.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Marianne.
السلام عليكم.
Good to see you.
Welcome to Malaysia for Specialist.
Thank you very much indeed. My colleague, Mr. Abdulrahman there. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to meet with you and be on courtesy and warm reception we have received since we came here, myself and my colleagues. As you probably know, support is an initiative to host the conference here, and because we want to tell you that we know how much you are putting of effort to develop human resources here, and human being as the center of how you are trying to do it. Human Resources Development Council, Mr. Yao was extremely generous and helpful and gave us all the information we need. Very strange, a lot of the delivery system, including the amounts, how much we charge, is almost the same. That's right. You can see challenges when it comes even to the language, and he was extremely keen that we really come with the proper support, look at any possibility of cooperation between both our countries. So that's why we're here.
We hope that by your presence here, exchange ideas and mutual benefit. I'm sure because now the government organization that we are spending a lot of money on the resource and training, because of the importance of building. We are having a lot of problems in terms of upgrading the skills of our workforce.
Yeah. Transit point, and we're very proud of this heritage and history, so please allow me to present it to you.
Thank you very much. The right time. Thank you. Thank you.
Brochure should be produced better, but this explains the CUs and historical background.
Thank you very much.
And we have some of the one of our museums type of thing. It is the Islamic art exhibition.
Thank you very much.
And I have a similar copies, if you don't mind. Can you deliver them to the Prime Minister when he comes back?
Definitely.
For the Prime Minister himself.
Yes, thank you very much. On behalf of the Prime Minister.
If you give it.
Oh, definitely.
And again, a set of the books.
Thank you very much. Just a small token of appreciation for
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Remember us by.
Thank you very much. There are a lot of good memories already. Thank you. I'm very pleased to be in Kuala Lumpur on the kind invitation of His Excellency, the Minister of Human Resources Development in Malaysia. This is the first official visit from Bahrain after the very successful visit of the Prime Minister, Mr. Mahathir Mohamad, to Bahrain. I think it was last April. During that meeting in Bahrain, with the discussion with our Prime Minister, it was agreed that both the government will do their best to ensure and endeavor to develop the relationship between our two friendly countries. That's why we took the opportunity of the Iftdo conference, which is the International Federation for Training and Development Organization, which is being held now in Kuala Lumpur, to attend this conference. And I'm happy to say that I'm leading the largest delegation to the conference. We spent long hours in the air, and we crossed a long distance. We come with this, such strength and such enthusiasm to this beautiful country. Our strength and the strength of the delegation is a reflection of our appreciation for the fact that Malaysia has hosted this conference. The fact that you hosted this conference is also a reflection of Malaysia's commitment to human resource development. Also, it will give us the opportunity to be able to see and witness ourselves the very successful programs that are being implemented here in relation to training, human resources development, and job creation. In fact, it's been recommended that we should come and learn, and we had discussed this matter today with His Excellency the Minister and his team, that which way we can start the process of cooperation. And I'm happy to report that we have agreed that we'll continue exchange of visits, and I was very pleased to extend my invitation to the Minister, and hopefully he will give us the honor of his visit, and we will exchange information. We will hopefully be sending, in fact very shortly, a team from our ministry to learn more about the employment and job creation programs in Malaysia, and also the labor information system, which we believe that Malaysia has been successful in establishing and in developing here. Again, we are very happy to see the extent of the training programs and training institutions, and we have already sent some of our trainers to get trained here, but we are planning to expand in this area. And in all this area, hopefully the cooperation will be reciprocal. The other side of the opportunity here is we talked about the training, and in our region, that is the Gulf region, the GCC countries comprising Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, UAE, Qatar and Oman, we're in the process of economic restructuring, which includes labor market restructuring, and relying on more and more on our own people. And for this purpose, we know that we have to train them, we have to upgrade their skills and their caliber, and billions of dollars being invested in this process. The most conservative estimate is that it's a 3.9 billion on training, billions of US dollars on training, and double that figure for education. And this is a big industry. We're here to invite the Malaysian training institutes, training centers, training providers to take advantage of that market and contribute there and benefit as well, because here is reciprocal benefit to both. So this is an open invitation for them to come. Bahrain is now the center or regional center of training and human resource development programs. We are giving every possible incentives and facilities to encourage training providers to come to the region. This is generally what we talked about, but if you have got any specific questions, I'm happy to reply.
Yes, we are working towards this following the visit by His Excellency. The officers will meet and will exchange ideas, and some of the ideas can be beneficial to both countries. Some of the ideas that we may be able to learn from Bahrain, and some of the ideas here maybe they can also bring back to their own country. So it is actually mutual benefit for both governments. I think this is very encouraging, because we are very honored that His Excellency has led the biggest delegation to Malaysia. And one of the areas, the main idea for His Excellency to visit here is to look at some of the trainings available, human resource development in this country. And our government also, we are spending a lot of money. In spite of the current deficit, we are not sparing any effort to upgrade the skills of our workforce. We're spending under the 7th plan, we're spending about 12.5 billion ringgit to upgrade the skills of our workforce. So that shows that the government, we are very committed to enhancing the skills of our workforce to meet the Vision 2020.
Well, thank you very much for this. Thank you. Well, I can say thank you very much. It's been very kind.
Sorry, I'm not very good with microphone. I'll hold it like that. We would like to welcome you here on behalf of the government of Bahrain. We would like also to inform you about our program in Bahrain. Bahrain is very, very serious when it comes to human resource development to the extent nobody has ever launched a show and exhibition together at such a scale that we are doing it now, and committed to this show with the Arabian Society of Human Resource Development Management. His Excellency, the Minister of Labour, Mr. Abdulnabi, have given us a tremendous support, and he is the dynamo behind it. May I introduce him to welcome to the podium too. Thank you.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I know many of you told me when they came that they heard me this morning, and the same people will say, oh yeah, not again. That's why I will be really very, very brief. The purpose of my standing here is basically to tell you thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate that gesture. We are happy to see you here again, and I hope you will have a good time. We're looking forward. There are many faces that we met before in similar occasions, and we're looking forward to meet with you again. Next year we are determined to go to Ireland in a very big strength as well, and maybe bigger delegation. And we hope to see you all there. It's going to be an enjoyable time and fruitful time. I won't repeat what I said today, but it's an occasion not to be missed to tell you that how much we are really committed in a very big way to the concept and to the issue of human resources development and training. We have really to rely on our people now. We are going to invest as much as we can on the human beings and our people, investment on them. And I'm very glad to tell you that the whole region, I won't say at last, but now definitely, that they know and they appreciate the importance and the value of investing, and they know the training and human resources development, not an expenses anymore, it is an investment. And hence there is that figure, which is the most conservative estimates of direct investment on training. Double that figure easily on education, again direct investment. And we see that figure growing at a minimum rate of 10%. We're very proud that we are spending that much money on our people. And we're looking forward for people to come and support us and help us in achieving our objectives. Next year we will be holding the first international exhibition and conference on human resources in the region. Bahrain is the venue of that and supported by the whole region. And we hope that we will be able to see you then, that is November 1998, and again to see you in the year 2002 in the Iftdo 2002 in Bahrain. Enjoy yourself, appreciate you visiting us, and thank you for joining us. Thank you.
On the job training of the Metropolitan community.
بس نبي نقعد وحده وياها لانه بعد خلونا هيجري نروح حضنا لوحده. اي ان شاء الله.
حياة ناصر تعال يوسف حياة مبارك وين ورا عم كلنا يا دكتور حياة جاي Good to see you. Thank you very much. Nice to see you. Allah, nice to see you. Good. Very good preparation.
When did you arrive?
Yesterday evening. Took us about 14 hours.
بالافتتاح المعرض مثل ما اتفقنا.
Yes, one is only very brief. One of them.
It doesn't seem to be.
His Excellency Mr. Abdulnabi al-Sha'lة, Minister of Labour and Social Captain of our invitation to attend for the first time in Malaysia. Before Malaysia organized the next similar conference, earlier in 2004, we have a big one. Your mind will be with ideas and knowledge. From the new paradigm and technology in our development, will describe distinguished world-renowned background and key values and operations. Mr. Charles Hampton was finished an education center from United States Malaysia, setting of multimedia development and cooperation in Malaysia, a leader in computers and information technology, presented by leading and art practitioners, and services provided by AEC. Ladies and gentlemen, and such a bountiful and stimulating speaker welcome and the Ajak Mahmoud from Transformation Berhad, the main sponsor of the conference and exhibition, and Motorola Malaysia, for sponsoring 3 of the 5 world-class key and generous support. I will thank those of our sponsors,
Chairman of Iftdo, Mr. Ali Dialdin, to address us. Mr. Ali, please.
Training and development organizations, I would like to welcome all of you and extend my sincere appreciation to the Malaysian government for their hospitality and to the Malaysian Institute of Personnel Management for organizing this significant and exciting conference, New Paradigm Holistic Human Resource Development. We are honored by the presence of Yang Berhormat Datuk Liu Magi, the Malaysian Minister of Energy, Telecommunication and Post. And equally, we are honored by the presence of His Excellency Mr. Abdulnabi, the Bahrain's Minister of Labour and Social Affairs. It's my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to speak to you on this occasion. The International Federation of Training and Development Organization meets for its 26th Annual World Conference. When this federation was founded 26 years ago, it was inconceivable that national economies would be integrated and become so dependent on each other as it is evident everywhere today. Today we talk about free trades, globalization, competitiveness, technological innovation, superhighway, and a host of other items that attempts to describe the new economy. They all speak of fundamental and rapid changes that are affecting our daily lives. For countries to compete in a global marketplace, they must realize major advances in science and technology. In this context, human capacity development is essential for global stability and for sustainable economic and social development. In fact, it is the engine for growth, which requires world-class education, as well as superior management, leadership skills, and a host of enabling social conditions that leads to high levels of economic performance. The Iftdo response to these challenges and needs of integrated world economy is threefold. First, Iftdo is recognizing the critical need for the first of its kind World Summit on Human Capacities Development. It is being visualized that the summit will bring together representatives of business enterprises, social institutions, and hopefully heads of governments to craft the policies needed to give a direction to human capacities development worldwide for years to come, to address the necessity for personal and organizational preparation for the new integrated economy. The summit mandates may rightfully carry the theme of skills for all. There is a role to be played by every institution concerned with developing the skills of the world's workforce. There is a role for you to play. The second response is that our annual World Conferences will continue serving Iftdo member organizations to connect with the world's human resource professionals and leadership. Already conferences are scheduled for July 1998 in Dublin, Ireland, for March 1999 in Long Beach, California, USA, for March 2000 in London, United Kingdom, for October 2001 in Singapore, and for October 2002 in the state of Bahrain. Our third response is an Iftdo Institute that is taking shape under the leadership of several Iftdo full member organizations. It will commence operation in 1998 with its first offerings in various international locations. Dear colleagues, in our attempt to further enhance Iftdo services and credibility, we solicit your suggestion and contribution. We hope you will read and contribute to the Iftdo News, our quarterly newsletter, and visit the Iftdo website and suggest how we might improve it for your benefit. Confident that for the next 3 days you will find the various presentations by leading international human resource professionals, scholars, and business executives of great value to you, your profession, and your organization. To all of you, my best wishes. Thank you. Now it's with great honor and pleasure to introduce to you our next speaker, His Excellency Abdulnabi الشعلة, the Bahrain Minister of Labor and Social Affairs, and the Honorary President of the Bahrain Society for Training and Development.
Mr. Minister, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of the Iftdo board, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really proud and pleased to be given the opportunity to say a few words to this distinguished gathering. I'm honored and pleased to be able to lead the largest delegation to this conference. And we yesterday spent many hours in the air and crossed long distance to come to this beautiful country in such strength and with such enthusiasm. This is basically to support Malaysia's initiative for hosting the conference, this conference in particular, and also to express our appreciation to the Iftdo Board of Directors and members. And also to express our commitment from the GCC countries to the mission and to the work of Iftdo. I believe the board of Iftdo yesterday and day before yesterday debated the next venue of the 2002 conference. And we are honored that the Iftdo board decided to accept the invitation of Bahrain to host that conference. And it is my opportunity to invite you all to join us in Bahrain. We look forward to see you there. You will be welcome to an area or to a region that has spent billions and is spending billions of dollars in training and human resources development. Most of you are aware that that region during the last 3 to 4 decades spent a lot of resources and energies in building its infrastructure. We have been able to be the host of millions of guest workers and expatriate manpower to help us in our process in developing our economies, and we build the infrastructure. Now the task is almost over, and it is now the time to manage our economy and our business. And we need to rely more and more on our people, and that's why that region is committed very, very strongly on the issue of training and the human resources development. Today, the most conservative expenditure or estimation of expenditure on training and human resources development is $3.9 billion, in addition to double that figure for training as recurrent expenditure. That is the size of the market, and that's the invitation we are making to. We know that we will not be able to achieve our objectives without the support and working as partners with the providers of quality training and human resources development programs. And we invite you to share with us that market and to help us to achieve our objectives. Once again, I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Thank you. Take it as a great challenge to us to be prepared for the 2002. We will be working very closely with our illustrious members of the Bahrain Society for Training and Development to ensure you to do our best to come to your expectation. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's timely and appropriate at this time to direct your attention to the conference program, which you might be holding in your hand. Could you please turn to the general information page on page 6? Read through those things on your own, at your own time, and to pages 10 and 11. And I'd like to refer you to SB's, cancel that. Paradigm shift for HRD in Arab universities will be development of an information society and new approaches to HRD, the old and the new paradigms on the implementation of total quality. Well, the old and the new paradigms will be today, that's tomorrow. And building and globalization of business values, that has to be dropped. Could you cancel that, please? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Minister of Energy, Telecommunications and Posts, Malaysia, Yang Berhormat Dr. Leo Mogi, to address us and to officially open the 26th Iftdo conference. Dipersilakan.
His Excellency, the Minister from Bahrain, Mr. Abdulnabi Al-Shua, Mr. Ali Deldin, the Chairman of the Iftdo Executive Board, Yang Bahagia Datuk Nik Abdulaziz Muhammad Kamil. Let me say welcome to you all to this conference. I would particularly like to say a special welcome to the Minister, who has kindly made it a special effort to be with us this morning and during the course of this session. I would also like to particularly welcome all our foreign guests and our speakers. And I hope that while you are here, that you will also have the opportunities to see a little bit of Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur is quite a vibrant city. And for those of you who have been here before, we like to pride ourselves that if you were here last year, you are particularly pleased that you all gathered here for the next 3 days to listen and to learn from experts from different countries on the very current issues of holistic human resource development. Let me particularly congratulate at the outset the organizer of this conference, including the Malaysian Institute of Personnel Management and the International Federation of Training and Development Organizations for having successfully staged this prestigious human resource development event. Each year, the Iftdo rotates the venue for its world conferences in various countries around the world. We are particularly delighted that you have chosen Malaysia to be the venue of the conference and the exhibition this year, as it is, I believe, for the first time that this conference is held in this region. We have learned and come to accept that people are very critical in organizational effectiveness. Today, human resources are seen more and more as valuable assets on whom the success of any business depends. In fact, as the 21st century beckons, modern human resource thinking asserts that even in a highly technical age, despite the technological advancement, it is still ultimately people and good management that will make even more of a difference. On the premise that the human resources are valued as assets, it is surely imperative that their values should be increased by a systematic and coherent approach to investing in their training and development. In general terms, human resource development is about enhancing and widening their competencies by training, by helping people to grow within the organization, and by enabling them to make better use of their competencies, and these are necessary in order to create value and deliver results to the organization. Human resource development currently is growing at an extremely fast rate. A recent United States Bureau of Labor Statistics report has in fact identified human resource development as the fastest growing profession in America and also in other parts of the world. And when we speak of HRD today, we are referring to the training and development of human resource, their career development, human resource planning, performance management system, organizational development, and the organization or job designs. In its broadest sense, HRD covers the human growth and development from the pre-kindergarten school years right up to old age. And it therefore includes education in various forms, both formal or informal, as well as the influences of the environment and the mass media. Thirdly, economic activities will be more global than they are today. This would mean that the ownership of farms will be very much internationalized. One obvious implication is that labor transmigration may take place on a greater scale from developing to the developed countries. Naturally, the challenge will be in the ability to be effective in managing and developing human resources in a culturally diversified business environment. Economically just, progressive and prosperous, and in full possession of an economy that is competitive, dynamic, and resilient. In realizing that vision, it will take more than mere slogans, but instead a full-hearted commitment. The holistic development of Malaysians is therefore one of the most important elements that will decide the achievement of Vision 2020. HRD is indeed regarded as a national agenda to help us build a promising future for the nation and its people. The importance of the development of human resource was in fact reiterated by the Prime Minister when the nation's Vision 2020 was first introduced to the country in 1991. It is therefore very clear that a dynamic human resource base is necessary in order to ensure sustainable economic growth. In order to achieve an economically just society, we know we must escalate dramatically our programs for national human resource development. There is a need for a mental revolution and a cultural transformation. This is so for us in Malaysia, particularly as we move towards the use of information technology as a driver to enhance our national productivity and competitiveness. With that, I now have great pleasure to declare open the 26th International Federation of Training Development Organizations World Conference and Exhibition open. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. The Honourable Minister will now strike the gong for the official opening of the conference. Could we invite, yes, the President of MIPM and Iftdo to present the striker to His Excellency. Thank you. This marks the end of the ceremonial part of the conference. We would now like to invite the Honourable Minister to officially open the Iftdo exhibition in the adjoining area and to a tour of the exhibits. Thank you.
انا كذا مره يعني اخر مره has a lot of cardinal what they call that is our national press. Okay,